How's it going, guys? This video is actually archived stream footage over on my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/BluebeardGamer. If you guys want to join live, as you will see, I play with my viewers a lot, so if you want to join in, feel free to come on over. I'd love to have you there. Until then, on with the show. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Guten Abend to all of you. It's me, Bluebeard Gamer. Welcome back. Sorry if I don't sound or seem super excited. I'm trying not to move around too much because about an hour ago my chest started flaring up, and if I move around too much it's gonna start acting up again and I'm just gonna have to stop the stream because it's really painful. So I'm still gonna be trying to do the stream. I'm just gonna try to keep it to be a relatively chill one because I don't want this acting up all night, frankly. I can barely move when it happens. But that's all depressing, that's all besides the point. What I want to show you guys is I'm slowly working on improving this. I don't have a lot of time right now because of how much I'm streaming, because of work, because of school and all that, but I'm working on adding more commands. I have some, I added some commands for my main YouTube channel and my Bluebeard archives where all these streams go. So, there you go. Just to show you those actually work. They should. I'm looking at those URLs and they look like they will work, so I'm going to assume that they work. Anyway, enough about all that, because let's be honest, who cares about those commands, really? We're jumping back into the hardcore. I don't think I have my headphones plugged in. Where's that? Yeah, I don't. Give me a second. I was wondering, why does this music not sound very loud? It's because it's not coming through my headphones. Okay, now it's working. I was thinking, wow, this music is really quiet. What the heck is going on here? The reason... I literally just hit T to try to do some inventory thing when it's E. I've been playing Minecraft for 10 years. Doesn't seem like it. No, these aren't coming through my headphones. I'm going crazy. Give me a second. What the heck is going on here? Give me a second, guys. Okay, now it's going through my headphones. What the heck? I had it plugged in, it was going through my speakers. I unplug it, replug it back in, now it works. Technology, man, it's the weirdest thing. I'm gonna quick lower the volume on that one. The problem with all these Minecraft soundtracks I'm using is that all the songs just seem to be different volumes, so I have to kind of work around that. I'm trying to remember what I was doing. Well, lagging a little bit, that's weird. Alright. I'm trying to remember what I named you. Does anyone remember what I named this guy? I should have written it down somewhere. That would have been smart, but I did not do that. I'm gonna close what I can to try to speed this up a little bit, because my gosh, this is a little slow. Here, we'll just throw you down there. Super professional, I know. Alright, we'll do something like this. Yeah, that'll work. Alright, we're rolling with that. It is daytime. I don't know for how long. I really should have looked around me. What I'd like to do this stream, if I can, is I'd like to try to get a little bit more set up of the chicken coop. The thing is, I don't know where all this stuff is going to go permanently, so I have a little bit of a hard time figuring out where I want to put everything. This is a cool looking area here, though. I could potentially build some farms or some kind of buildings up along that ridge once all these trees are gone. We're going to need some more wood for this thing, though. Not just spruce wood, we're going to need oak wood, too. So let's go grab some, because I actually don't have any oak wood yet. I should. Okay, we're going to probably want to build a bridge there at some point, because I do not want to die and end this world because I fall down that stupid hole. And look at that. It's not even that far, but knowing me, that could very easily happen, so we do not want to do that. That would be very embarrassing. I don't remember how I got across here before. How long is this chasm? It is decently long. There's an egg. Does that mean there's a chicken? I need more chickens for my chicken coop. Hey, you. I will get something done, just not immediately. This chicken has to come with me. Oh, there's another one. Come here, buddy. You guys are going to join the Bluebeard Hive Mind completely of your own will, and not because I'm baiting you with a seed. You guys are gonna love it here. It's a good time. Trust me on that. Let's go over here. Oh, I lost one. The seed does not have a very large radius, does it, for attraction? Come on, buddy. I genuinely can't remember what I named the dog. I really should have written that down. If Funky was here, he'd probably remember. He was here for that first stream where I did name him. Was it Bartholomew? I'm getting the feeling that it was Bartholomew. So we're going to assume for now it's Bartholomew, unless someone corrects me in the class matter of, actually, Bluebeard, it's that Bartholomew. I think you'll find that it was fill in the blank. And I will say, oh yeah, you're right. Thank you for reminding me, because I don't let little petty things like that get in the way of a good time. Yeah, the title's right. I am probably rambling about nonsense. You get what you pay for. It is what it says on the tin, as they say. Ooh, excuse me. But yeah, if we get rid of these trees, if we clear out all the trees around this could be a really cool looking quarry area we could develop. And then have some stuff along the top there, maybe some kind of foreman building or some kind of... I feel like the farms would look a little weird right next to the mine. So we don't want to do that. This music is now a little louder. Good grief. Here we go. Crank that sucker down. That's too much. Is there something you can do in... I have not found this yet, if this exists in Spotify. But is there a way to say, I want all my songs to balance out to this decibel level. Can you do that for me? And then Spotify would say, well, I don't know. I mean, you're paying for this service. I'm not really sure if we can do the thing you're asking us to do, even though you're a loyal customer and all that. You know, classic economic stuff, right? What have I done now? I've messed something up, but we'll find out what that is in the future. I still like to sort out that whole sound alerts thing. I disabled it because it looked broken. It may have been on this stream where it looked broken, actually. Or this Minecraft world, I should say, the last time I played on it. The sound alerts thing was acting up, and that's half of my alert sounds. Oh my gosh, this thing just got so much louder. It's basically over, but half the stream is just going to be me changing the audio level of this Minecraft music. But I really want to use it, because it's very cool. I'm trying to think, while I'm doing all this wood chopping, I'm trying to think of the design I'd want to go for with this chicken coop. Because, I mean, again, this is not exactly a great spot for a chicken coop along the coastline. It doesn't make a lot of sense. But if we clear out some trees, there could be something back here, for example. Because you don't want an opening straight into the quarry here. The entrance would probably be somewhere over there. Probably down here, actually. This could be a natural entry point, since it's a natural ditch down anyway. Do I have torches? I do. I really need to get some iron so I can make some armor. There's no cows around. Oh! See, now I can't see chat because this thing's in the way. Give me a second. Hey, Mary, how's it going? It's Mary, I'm guessing? How you doing this fine night? Are you, or morning, wherever you are? It's night for me, so I'm saying night. But how you doing? I'm trying not to die. It's very difficult, because I'm not a PvP guy. And one of the more likely ways I will die in this game is if monsters come and PvP me to death, because they're better at PvPing than I am. But we're gonna... Oh, like that guy, for example. That guy is bad news. I should have brought Bartholomew with me, actually. Night 2? Alright, thanks. Glad to hear it. I'm glad to hear that. But, oh my gosh. If I do not want to die from fall damage. That'll be way too embarrassing. But, let's see. Let's think of a good conversation topic. Do you, I'm assuming you probably play Minecraft, since a lot of people play the game, and you're here watching a Minecraft stream. So I'm going to assume, for the purposes of this question, you play Minecraft. Do you play Minecraft hardcore at all? I know it's a bit of a niche, game mode, because, you know, not everyone... Not a lot of people want to risk dying and losing the world they built up. I'm a builder, so I don't often build on hardcore, because I don't want to lose all my creations I built. But, you know, it's still a fun little challenge here and there. How am I? I'm doing alright. I'm, trying to keep my chest from flaring up again here, but other than that, it's been a pretty good day, albeit an unproductive one. I wanted to, I ideally wanted to get a little bit more done today, but I admittedly spent a lot more time gaming than I would have preferred. I'm trying to wean myself off the whole 10 hours a day I used to play back before the summer. And every now and then I'll have a day where I just play a game for 4 hours in a row and I think, okay, well, can't do that again. It's kind of like caving, I guess, if that makes sense. Never played hardcore? It's, I've played it a couple times. I've had a lot of fun with it when I do play it. The challenge is getting started, I guess, if that makes sense. Getting past the first few days until you can get a bed, until you can get armor. That's one of the really hard things. Then the next spike comes when you get to the nether, because it's the nether. And I've never beaten the Ender Dragon in hardcore. The farthest I've gotten in hardcore is getting to the Nether and kind of just setting up villager trading stuff and kind of, I guess, what you would call the mid-game, even though there's not really an end game to Minecraft, despite the fact that there's a dimension called the end. I don't know. What do you really consider end game in Minecraft? I guess Ender Dragon stuff and beyond is probably end game, technically. But, yeah, I'm just trying to stay alive right now. There are no sheep in the area, so I haven't really gotten to bed yet, so I've just been trying to mine at night and just slowly chop down the trees in this taiga until I can actually see what the heck I'm doing. That guy's terrifying. He will 2 or 3 shot me, so I gotta be very careful. That's a wolf I will ignore. But I'm trying to figure out where would be a good spot to actually build the chicken coop, because eventually I want to make a big sprawling kingdom that looks really cool and awesome, kind of medieval style. But the problem is I can't really see what a good layout of things would be, because there's so many trees around. Have I ever beat the dragon? Oh yeah, I have. It's not something I actually ever did until a couple years ago, maybe, was the first time I ever did it. I just never got that far. I would get started in a world, get to diamonds, get to the nether, get all that stuff, and then I would get bored for some reason. And not, wow, this music's a little loud. Turn that down a little bit, there we go. I would just get bored and not want to do any of the endgame stuff for some reason, like getting elytra, doing more industrial farming with automation, and just being able to build huge things. Which is weird to me, because I'm a builder and a farmer, so I guess that's kind of early game stuff, or mid game stuff, if that makes sense. Now that I've gotten more into redstone over the past few years, right around the time right around the time I played on Quarantine SMP, which I guess if you're new, you wouldn't know what that was. But that was kind of mid 2020 was a server I joined and played on for a little while with some guys for content creation. But around that time, so a little over 2 years ago at this point, it feels weird that it was that long ago. But by then I got into redstone, and because redstone's kind of a late game thing, you can do it whenever you have redstone. But if you want to build big contraptions, you know, you need the time and resources to build those darn things. So that's more of a, you know, you beat the dragon, you have a elytra, you have a lot of materials, you have shulker boxes to carry around all the redstone materials, and you kind of roll with that. I gotta get inside. I'm really risking it for some biscuits here, but the biscuits are spruce wood. They're not exactly worth it here. Ah! Okay, we're fine. Just get inside, we're fine. There we go. Alright, now we're safe. Still can't see chat because this thing is stupid, and it's not you, it's me. It's not you, it's me, I promise. You do have a question then. Okay, fire away. I'm just gonna be doing inventory management, so I am all ears for a question. Alright, we'll have to grow some oak trees around here. That'll be good. Now we actually have some spruce that we could do something with. That'll be fun. But I kind of want to build the chicken coop. I just do not know where. And as for right now, you know, that kind of just means I'm stuck, more or less. Let's just turn this all into oak wood, actually. There we go. I can play Minecraft, I promise. I do know what I'm doing. It does not seem like it, but I do, in fact, know what I'm doing. And there we go. Now I can... Oh, that's gonna bug me. But you know what? I gotta let it go. I can't let my... what I assume is OCD get in the way of this. And let's just dump all this stuff. We'll just do some mining for a little bit until it turns daytime. There's not too much else we can do right now, honestly. Bucket of water, bow with one arrow. Yeah, we're totally equipped. What's my favorite game ever? Oh my gosh. Look at Mary here coming out with the really difficult questions. I honestly don't know. Minecraft is probably up there. I think, in terms of hours, because, you know, Minecraft doesn't keep track of how many hours you play on it total. But let me pull up my calculator real quick. And I say calculator by being online. Let's think. I think I've probably put around 10,000 hours into Minecraft, at least, and probably more than that at this point, which means, just in terms of raw time, assuming I didn't even sleep, I just did nothing but play Minecraft, that's over a year. So, Minecraft is definitely up there. As you play more of the game, it loses a little bit of its kind of early game nostalgia allure that it would have. No world I ever play excites me as much as the first couple survival worlds I did, because everything was brand new. But now I find pleasure in other things in this game, such as, kind of doing things like hardcore, creative worlds, being able to build things, kind of, story building, world building, stuff like that. It never unfortunately released, but I was actually a body actor, a voice actor, a builder on a Minecraft YouTube series that was going to come out that was scripted. It was kind of like a television show or a Netflix release or something like that, with a bunch of pre-written stories, characters, stuff like that. And that was a lot of fun, being able to kind of work, because that's all about lore building, storytelling. And now I'm trying to do more of that. My main YouTube channel, where I still make some stuff occasionally, although I do a lot of Twitch stuff now. But my main YouTube channel, where I do a lot of stuff, the stuff I do put out is typically cinematic things I've made in Minecraft, applications for example, the Gooboodle SMP, which is very much a story lore server, basically storytelling. But, I don't know. All that's to say, I'm not even saying Minecraft is my answer. I'm just saying Minecraft is a really likely candidate. Am I allowed to pick a franchise as my answer? For example, I would not say that any one Pokemon game is my favorite, but there's a chance that if I just do the Pokemon genres, the Pokemon franchise as a whole, that would maybe be up there. Because I like all the Pokemon games I've liked for different reasons, except for Pokemon Moon. I wasn't really a fan of Gen 7, but that's besides the point. Sid Meier's Civilization, I have a lot of hours in that. 5 and 6 in particular. I don't have any of the ones before that. But, I don't know. I just play so many different types of games, it's so hard to say. But it probably would have to be Minecraft, just because of the sheer number of hours I play it, and the fact that I still enjoy playing it after more than 10 years, and pretty much over 10,000 hours put into it, some of which being in content creation, YouTube videos, streaming, stuff like that, over the past 6 or 7 years since I first started doing content creation. The fact that I still enjoy doing it, I think means that's probably my answer, if I have to be honest. It's hard to make a case, in my opinion, otherwise. Let's see, I'd be there. But, that was a very long-winded answer. You will probably learn this about me if you stick around for any length of time. As the stream title suggests, I will ramble about nonsense. So, I'll just go off on a random topic. Which is why it's great when there are other people here, because they will propose conversation topics. I'll start going off on it. And then, in order to get me to stop talking about that, they'll either respond with their thing. Which by the way, I'm curious about you, what your favorite game is of all time. Whenever you want to answer. Or they'll just start a whole new topic for me to go off on. So, it's stuff like that. Pick 3 games. Ooh, okay. And I'm guessing not franchises, right? Just straight up games. So, definitely Minecraft is on there. Oh my gosh, there's good ones, man. I feel like I have to pick at least one Pokemon game. For my Pokemon game, I will probably pick Pokemon Black 2. That's the first Pokemon game I really played through. I technically played Heart Gold before that when I rented it from a video game store, but you just own that for a couple days, so it doesn't really count, because you don't get very far in the story. But Pokemon Black 2 holds a special place in my heart, because I'm a big fan of the 2D animation styles they did for the sprites. I'm not a fan of the 3D ones. So it's kind of the last game where they did that, and then they also had the animated 2D sprites where they were moving. I thought that was pretty cool. Not a fan of the power creep, obviously, from a competitive point of view, but the story-wise, the types of the Pokemon designs they released, I was a fan of a lot of them. Yeah, so probably that game. But, so we have Minecraft, Pokemon Black 2, and, man. I gotta think of a third one here. The thing is, there are lots of games I could throw on this list. The question is what they would be. There's obvious candidates. Back when I was a little kid, I played Lego Star Wars: The Complete Saga on the Wii, just so much, because that's what I had, but the game was amazing. And I think that's the first ever video game I 100% completed. So that's an honorable mention at least. And again, as you can see, you ask a relatively simple question and I just go on and on and on. So that's just me overthinking things. That is the Bluebeard way, is I overthink everything I possibly can. and I'm just trying to get down to where I can find some good resources. So that's, if you're wondering what I'm doing, that's what it is. If I have to pick a third one, as much as I love things like stuff like that back in the day, I probably would have to go with something like Sid Meier's Civilization 6. Because I really... Civ 5 holds a place in my heart because it got me into the Civ franchise. But Civ 6, the way the game was... The way they made the game more complex, but more, in my opinion, more intricate. And I was a big fan of the way they designed the game. So I may have to throw that up there. Although it feels weird not doing things like the LEGO Star Wars The Complete Saga. LEGO Star Wars 3 The Clone Wars was also a great game when that came out. I think it was, what, 2010? My friend and I would just go into the battle mode. We'd pick the Ryloth map, which was... okay, I gotta set up a story here for this to all make sense. So, LEGO Star Wars 3 The Clone Wars, for those who aren't aware of what the game was, it's like the LEGO Star Wars games that everyone knows and loves, but it's based around the levels are based around the first 2 seasons of the Clone Wars animated series they made in 2008. Not the Genndy one in 2003 or so, but the 2008 one, the kind of the 3D animated one. But and one of the kind of the key gimmick of that game was, I guess, battle levels. So you'd have just a big, vast open map. It's kind of like a strategy game, something like Total War almost, but in LEGO Star Wars. So you have all these little bases where you can build turrets and barracks that'll spawn clone troopers and they'll go off and fight. You're basically building a battlefield, and that is the level. But my friend and I would pick the Ryloth map, which was basically a six bases on one side, 6 bases on the other, and there was a giant laser bridge in the middle. So all the troops you would build would kind of just funnel onto that laser bridge and fight each other. You'd have cannons shooting over the giant chasm, and we would just grab speeder bikes and we would just spin around on that thing on the laser bridge for probably 3 hours or so, just shooting everything that was on the bridge. It was... Oh, I thought you got out. I was gonna say, man, that guy was making a break for it. But, I don't even know where I was going with this, honestly. I don't know where I was going with this. But yeah, we would do that for hours, and no one would ever actually win, because that wasn't the point. We were just spinning around, just doing whatever, and it was a lot of fun, kind of just simulating a battle. It was I don't know, man. That was back, gosh, yeah, that was probably back 2010, 2011, oh my gosh. Feels weird to think that it was that long ago. Good grief. My friend and I aren't even that old yet. We're in our early 20s, and we're already talking about... Because we've been friends since elementary school, so basically we've been friends almost our whole lives at this point. So we'll talk about stuff we did back when we were younger, and we think, oh my gosh, that was 10 years ago. And, oh my god. It's weird. I'm not even... Yeah, I'm still pretty young, honestly. People will watch this, and they'll be 30 or 40 or older, and they'll sit there thinking, oh my gosh, this absolute spoiled entitled child, thinking that 20s is old. And it's not old compared to the average lifespan right now. It's just, it's old for me because it's the oldest I've experienced. So it just feels so weird. You know, when you're a little kid, you think, oh man, look at all this stuff that I'm liking now. And you get older, you think, all these movies and things that you watched when they came out, and these games you played when they came out, and you sit there and you start thinking, man, that still feels so recent, but that was a decade ago. Or that was 15 years ago, or something like that. And it really just starts making you think. I don't know, I think I've gotten more introspective over the years. I used to just be a whiny kid, and I'm not gonna say I'm not whiny. I'm sure some people probably think I am, just because of my voice. Some people probably do not like my voice, so they may say that. But, I'm not gonna stand here, because there's a chance that is nothing. Okay, we're fine. But, see, now I'm rambling about something completely different. See, Mary, this is what happens when I stream Minecraft. I don't have to focus on the game too much. So I will just start going off about useless nonsense. And I mean, I enjoy it, and I hope people who are watching enjoy it, because they're just watching some guy ramble on about nonsense for a while. But I don't know. I don't know. It's one of the things I talked about this the last time I streamed on this world as well, though. But when you're kind of a kid or a teenager, you don't think about all the time that's passing. But then you kind of graduate from school and you start moving into the real world. Because there definitely is a difference with the way kids and teenagers are raised nowadays. We're kind of bubbled up in our own little space and think, oh no, they need to be kids. They need to just go have fun. But when you start getting older, you think, man, I played video games for 10 hours or 12 hours a day, because that's what I used to do, up until earlier this year, actually. It was really bad. But, you think, man, I enjoyed that. It was a lot of fun, don't get me wrong. It was a lot of fun. But it was so much instant gratification. I'm here now, you know, 8 years, about probably 5 years or so after I started doing that, or 8 years after I started doing that, and I'm sitting here wondering, what do I have to show for it? Oh my goodness! It's Mr. Magikarp! Oh my goodness. Okay, we gotta say hi to Magikarp here real quick. Wouldn't be Bluebeard playing Minecraft didn't use shaders. Yeah, that's true. But it's good to see you, man. Oh, thank you for the follow, Mary. Sorry, normally there would be a sound effect that would play, but my sound effects my alerts have been acting really weird. So until I can fix them, because I just have not had time to fix them, ignore the fact that I played about 4 hours of Regions of Ruin today, that's besides the point. But, until I really have time to sit down and fix it, I have them off. So some of my sound alerts don't work, like follows and subs, and then things like raids do, and gift subs work, because those are technically a different sound alert. I don't know, it's weird. But, technology is just so strange. It's so weird. Question, is experience more important than age? I would say that there is some level of correlation between the two. It's not a perfect correlation of one or anything, but I would say there's definitely some positive correlation involved there. Just by living life in itself, there will be some level of experience that you will gain. The question is, what is that experience? How much is that experience? And what is it concentrated into, or what is it diverted into? For example, I played probably 10 to 12 hours of video games a day for not every day, but most days for 5 years or so. And that you know, I've aged 5 years. The question is, what experience has that given me? Now I think I've gotten better at the video games that I was playing. And there are definitely some advantages. Magikarp, who was just here, I met by doing content creation. I met him on the Coordinate SMP that I was talking about a few minutes ago. So that's an example. I've met a lot of people. That Minecraft project I mentioned, that scripted one that I was going to be a part of, I met those people through a connection in Quarantine SMP. Basically, all this stuff is linked. So I definitely have some connections I would not have otherwise had, and I've been able to do things that I wouldn't be able to do with these video games. But at the same time, right now I'm doing a lot more reading than I used to. I'm going through Winston Churchill's collection that he wrote about World War II. So I'm going through that. I have some of the first edition copies from probably the late 1940s when they were first published. So I've been trying to go through those. And then I'm also trying to learn German. I'm trying to get back into it because it's been a little bit since I started doing that. But I sit here and have to think, yeah, I definitely got some experience from these video games, but is that experience worth is that experience equivalent in terms of value and worth to my life what would have been if I had spent that time, you know, learning a second language or practicing the piano? Because I used to be able to play the piano. Now I probably can't very well at all because I just stopped practicing and stopped playing it. So my point is, if I put my time into other things, is that experience worth the same thing? I mean, here's an example. Here's another good example. A 50-year-old who's never had any romantic relationships at all, is not married, anything like that, is probably not going to have experience or romantic experience relevant that would apply to a conversation if, for example, a 16-year-old is asking him for love advice or something. That's an off example, but my point is, age is a kind of a standard value, and then experience can hold different value and be in different places. I don't know. See, Mary, you're asking some really good questions. I'm I'm sitting here really trying to think about these, because I love thinking about concepts and questions like this. But, are they two sides of the same coin? Well, I guess I kind of just gave you my answer on that. I wouldn't say they're the same coin. I'd say there's a correlation of something like 0.4 or 0.5, to where you could say there's definitely some correlation there. There's some kind of relationship, but it's not it's not necessarily for when X years passes, you have this amount of experience. Because how do you quantify experience necessarily? Does experience have what's the term I'm looking for? Does experience have diminishing return? Because for example, if I play 100 hours of Minecraft, I can get to be competent at the game. I can have some good experiences. I can build some things. If I then bump that up to 1,000 hours of Minecraft or 10,000 hours of Minecraft, how much more value am I getting out of the game for that time that I'm putting in? Where if instead of doing, you know, 1,000 hours of Minecraft or 10,000 hours of Minecraft, I took, let's say 1,000. Let's say I did 10 groups of 1,000. And, you know, did 1,000 hours of street hockey, because I played a little bit of street hockey in gym at one point, because I kind of the basketball court style street hockey type thing. Or if I put 1,000 hours into learning German, or if I put 1,000 hours into, you know, actually studying for my college classes, which besides doing homework, I don't really study that much. I get perfectly fine grades, so I would study if I had to, but if I actually put the time into studying these things and remembering them more, is that cumulative experience worth more than a potential diminishing return on 10,000 hours of one thing? That's the real question that we have to ponder as we're going through life. Gosh, I've gotten really philosophical. I was not expecting this to happen, but at the very least, this is keeping the stream really chill, so my chest doesn't act up or doesn't flare up. So that's very good. Thank you for that. But these are the things we have to wonder. As we get older, these things become more and more relevant, because, you know, when you're 16, most people don't think, man, how much time do I have left to develop to make a difference in people's lives? A 50-year-old is going to be wondering a lot more about that than a 16-year-old. What was that sound? Did you guys hear that? What was that? I have to think that's in the Minecraft soundtrack I have playing. I don't know why that would be in there. Oh my gosh, my frames are terrible right now. What's going on? Granted, I have a few things up, but I could run 40 frames pretty easily last time. Let's close. What can I actually close here? Not much. I could close Discord, but I really don't want to, because it's showing my status as streaming, so I like being able to have that pulled up. I don't know. We'll figure something out. Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! Bartholomew! No! No, no, no! Oh, oh my gosh! Bartholomew, no! We can't lose you, buddy! Oh my gosh, that was close. Oh, we gotta heal you up, buddy. Oh my gosh, we can't afford to lose Bartholomew. He's our only friend in this empty wasteland. Okay. Can I get you to teleport to me? There you go. Eat that, please. How much did that actually help you? I don't have a lot of meat. That is better. Not great, but it's better. Okay. Will you eat berries? You will not eat berries. I kind of figured he wouldn't, but I had to try. His health is very important, don't you know? You joined? Hang on, I'm confused. Oh, that's what you're talking about. Oh, right, okay. The Discord. Okay, well, I'll do a... Hello. I'm not gonna have that up, so I'm not gonna respond, but I'll leave you a little message in the Discord. I mostly use it for Twitch notifications and stuff like that. Oh, wait for 10 minutes. Yeah, I think that's some kind of verification thing. That's just to protect against spam bots and stuff like that. Because I've been a part of a couple servers where they've been a problem. So I have a couple things set up to try to keep people from just spamming images that are inappropriate or stuff like that. Just because while I'm not gonna try to police what people do in their own time, I try to keep my content creation stuff pretty family friendly. So, you know, I don't want people spamming not safe for work stuff on my Discord or anything. So I gotta set up some safeguards against that kind of thing, don't you know? But, gosh, I don't even know what I was talking about. I've completely lost my train of thought. But you know what? We're having a good time. We're just hanging out playing Minecraft. That's what it's all about right now. How much longer am I gonna go for here? I'll probably go for another half hour or so. I just can't afford to stay up too late because I have work in the morning and I have to be able to get in the bathroom before the rest of my family and then be able to get to work on time. So I'll probably have another half hour of this, but no, we're not ending anytime soon. So no need to worry about that. I just need to talk things through in my own head. Helps me think. Last question. Oh no, are you leaving me? No, you can leave it. I'm not gonna force you to stay here. Obviously, I'm just playing it up. I'm a very chill guy. I don't know what all these emotions are everyone talks about. You know, you're asking a lot. You don't have to apologize. You asking these questions makes the stream so much more enjoyable for me because I'm able to talk these things through with you guys and think about things. You don't have to apologize for asking questions. Now, if you're asking really, I don't know, if you're asking inappropriate questions or something, maybe then that's an issue, but obviously that's not happened, so there's no reason for there to be a concern. Please don't think you're weird. Oh yeah, I don't think you're weird. I don't know that much about you. I know you're a person who came into my Twitch chat. You've been asking some really awesome, some really philosophical questions that I've been enjoying, so you know, we don't have to know everything about the people we talk with on Twitch and YouTube and things like that. Because there's always going to be some level of disagreement. There's going to be things that we don't like about other people, but we shouldn't let that stop us from doing what has brought us together, and that's just hanging out, talking, having interesting conversations. I'm gonna start going off, and I'm gonna sound like an old timer with how social media and just volatility and all that stuff. I'm gonna sound like a geezer. At heart, I am a 55-year-old man. Let's be honest here. Do I believe in a parallel world? Ooh. See, because I have... Yeah, because the whole parallel universes theory. That's a difficult one to say, honestly. Because even if we could say that we did... Where would the relevance be? Would it be some level of... Would it be like actual shows, that, you know, superhero shows and all that stuff that they do, where you can actually hop between them, or you can see into them, or is the knowledge of their existence irrelevant because of our inability to access them? I guess that's a question. I don't know. That's hard for me to say. I will just say flat out, I am religious. It's hard to, sometimes people don't see this behind my head, but I do have a little cross back there. I am a Christian, so, you know, I do believe in the whole God thing and heaven and stuff like that. But I think those are different from what you would consider, what one would consider a parallel universe, a parallel world or a parallel universe, because that seems to almost connotate a different reality or a different universe. Here's the question. Is a parallel world... Is the world of 1 hour ago, or about 40 minutes ago when I started the stream, a parallel world to this one? Is time the axis on which these parallel worlds are measured? Or is it on a parallel level of space? Is it measured on one of the conventional dimensions that we can relate to, or is it its own kind of dimension, like a fifth or a sixth dimension? That's the question. Do you think there's a version of you in the parallel world? Oh, well, that would be depressing if there was. The universe can barely handle one of me, honestly. I don't know how it's managing with just the sheer oddity that is me. But that actually sounds really arrogant, doesn't it? I was trying to say that in a really self-deprecating way, but that kind of sounds like, oh, I'm so quirky and different. People can't handle me. Well, Bartholomew, I'm going to hit you in the face with a pickaxe. You gotta be careful, buddy. But, ooh, I don't know. I'm not sure if I can fully get behind the concept of a parallel world, because I would wonder if it exists. I don't know. I would want to wonder, is it something that we can interact with, or is it something that we could somehow in the future gain access to? And I know that sounds somewhat, I don't know, it's hard to say. If we operate on the assumption that there is a parallel world, the question is, is it a parallel world where the timeline happens exactly the same as this one? Or is it a situation to where when every decision happens, because there's always at least, for every decision there's at least 2 options, every option would then spiral out into its own universe or timeline? I guess that's the question we have to ponder. Because if the timeline's exactly the same, then obviously, yeah, there would be me in that timeline, because it's all the same. But if we're talking about a timeline difference where it splits off at a crossroads where in decision making, then the question is, that there would be parallel worlds where I think I would exist, but then I think there would also be parallel worlds where I would not exist because of some different decision that was made. The easiest decision the easiest example I could possibly give for this, if the Cuban Missile Crisis had gone a bajillion other ways in the way it did, if the one guy in the Russian nuclear submarine had actually hit the button along with the 2 other guys to launch the nuke when they mistakenly thought war had broken out, and the world and our world had basically ended, in that parallel world that would still technically exist because the universe would go on without us, I would obviously not exist. The question is, how far back do we go under that assumption with decisions? Because if we were talking about, oh, it's a different reality where you had something different for lunch, then yeah, I haven't left the house today, so it's not like I'd get into a car accident. And unless what I ate gave me some really bad stomach issues, then yeah, I'd still be in that reality. I don't know. Hey, Funky, you hopped in at a really weird time. Mary and I are talking about parallel worlds, whether we believe they exist, and if we do believe they exist, if we are in them. So we've been having a really philosophical chats tonight. It's been great, but how you doing tonight, Funky? Have you been having an okay day or a good day? I obviously I hope that's the case, but yeah, it's been, yeah, multiverse. That's kind of one of the things I was talking to Mary about, because the question is, the real question is, if we operate under the assumption, it's kind of like one of those tree images you see where it's branching decisions. The first question we have to ask is, do we believe that there's a parallel world? Religious people will likely have a lot of different varying opinions than atheists, for example, because religious people may believe that as an example, I'm not saying this is what I believe, I'm saying it as an example. Let's say someone who follows Judaism may say it wouldn't make sense for there to be God for there to be multiple of God, because there'd be multiple realities, unless God would therefore exist outside of reality. So that's the first question: do we believe there's a parallel world? If we operate under the assumption that there is, so if we say yes for the purposes of the discussion, is it, like what Funky's talking about, a parallel universe or a multiverse, that kind of thing, where different decisions and timelines have branched out to create different alternatives? Or is it a world exactly like this one, where all the same decisions happen? It's just happening it's just happening simultaneously. But then the question would be, what would be the purpose of that kind of thing? Definitely possible there are other universes or even someone out there in another galaxy where one of those branches we picked, we did not pick. Yeah, exactly. Because that's the question. Because that's, like I was saying, if the branching decision for the parallel universe we're talking about is I ate something different for lunch, then the odds are probably at least 99.7% if I had to guess that I would still be in that parallel world. Whereas if the branches broke off at, say, the Cuban Missile Crisis, or, you know, something in World War II, like, let's say the political group that I cannot name because I don't think Twitch likes them, if they had won World War II instead of the Allies, then there is a decent chance I would not be here, or at least I wouldn't be the same person. And then the question is, would I still exist, but my consciousness would be in a different body and I'd be a different person, different DNA, things like that, or would my consciousness just not exist at all? How tied is it to my specific DNA? Again, just spiraling out. There's so much to think about in a situation like that. It's just difficult. It's difficult to really focus sights in on one particular thing or one particular aspect of it. The observable universe is massive and ever-growing. It's like the ocean. We're barely explored any of it. Oh yeah, it's crazy. What are the estimates? Something like 4%. We know 4% of the universe or something like that, and the estimate is something like 96 or 97% of the universe is still unknown to us. It's something crazy like that. But there's still so much we don't know. We still don't really know how gravity works. We know that it's warped by mass somehow, and then in turn with gravity warps time and space around it. So there's some kind of connection there, but we still don't fully comprehend it. Heard from physicists, the universe we live in is just one of many universes in existence, and maybe an infinite number of parallel worlds to ours. Oh yeah, it's definitely a popular theory. The question is it something that can be proven? It's kind of the the whole Schrodinger's cat thing. It's an interesting concept, but how much can we really understand about it, if that makes sense? Can we truly comprehend it? Can we measure it? Can we make rational arguments for it? It's like all the philosophers you would see from the 1800s and the 1900s. You'd have a lot of the atheist philosophers, and you'd have a lot of the philosophers who would make scientific and rational arguments for the existence of a god based off of our understanding. And yeah, it's a tinfoil hat discussion. I'm not going to disagree. Well, it's not really a tinfoil hat discussion. If it was a tinfoil hat discussion, I'd be breaking out my Alex Jones impression. We'd be talking about birds and talking about birds being surveillance drones and chemicals in the water and all that. And I mean, I could say that. It'd be funny. Just as a little clip someone would probably take without me realizing it. Hint, hint. I'm just kidding. But, no. So here's a completely side tangent thing than what we've been talking about. But it's relatively related to what I just mentioned. Is there a person or a character in media or something like that? Is there some concept of a being or some character that you think you can do a reasonable impersonation or a reasonable impression of? Because I operate under the assumption you see certain people who are really gifted who can do dozens and dozens of impersonations that are very good. I'm under the impression that if it's kind of a an applied time type thing, to where I think everyone could do at least one there's so many people in the world, so many different characters, so many different pieces of media, things like that, that I think everyone could do at least one impression to a reasonably acceptable level. Oh, that's a creeper. Break the torch, run away, bye-bye. There we go. Alright, we've, kind of gone as far as we can here for now. Let's just, do not break. And we'll come back to this. But, I've been told, especially by Huger, that I have a fairly convincing British accent. Okay, so that's another angle. What kind of accents do you think you can do? Because there are people who can do certain accents. And then, for impersonating certain people, an accent will feel like, or an accent will be important to that. For example, if you're doing an impersonation of Winston Churchill, he clearly has a British accent. You're not going to be able to do a Winston Churchill impression remotely well without also being able to do a British accent remotely well. So they are kind of linked in some way, shape, or form. But I don't know. My friend is actually a voice actor. He's done some paid gigs, been on some shows, things like that. And he has a lot of impressions that I think he does decently well. I think he does a pretty good Gollum. He and I kind of... He likes to do Heath Ledger Joker. I kind of feel bad, because sometimes it seems like he's going borderline insane whenever he's breaking out his impressions, because, if you're just walking around, you hear someone start doing a someone's doing a Heath Ledger Joker impression. You want to know how I got these scars? Or something along those lines. I don't think I have a very good one. But if you see someone doing that, or you hear someone just breaking out maniacal laughter, you're gonna think, oh my gosh, this guy's on it. This guy's lost his rocker. This guy's off his rocker. But, where was I even going with that? But yeah, my point is, he's put a lot of practice into this kind of thing. So I think he has a lot of accents and voices he can do pretty well. So I think everyone, if applied in a particular manner, could do an impersonation. The question is, how would you know? How would you ever know what impersonation you'd be really good at? For example, let's say you put something like 1,000 hours. If I put 1,000 hours into imitating, what's that guy's name? Brad Garrett, the guy who played, Robert Barone from Everyone Loves Raymond, that guy. If I tried to impersonate that guy, there's potentially a limit to how well I could do at it, simply because my voice is a lot higher than Brad Garrett's. So, his range of what he can do with his voice can be very different than what I can do with my voice. So I can do something like, everybody loves Raymond. But that's about as deep as I can go, and he can go deeper than that, so I'm limited on what I can do. So, I think there are some limits, but how would you know, with all the different options out there, what impression or what impersonation you would be good at is the question. Because there's so many different people, so many different characters, things like that. And like, if I did my British accent in front of an actual British person, they'd probably say it's garbage. Well, I think British people would say that to British people, honestly. Because the whole northern accent, they have so many different variants of their own accent. They may just assume you're being a northerner. They may just assume you're trying to rock a Yorkshire or a northern accent, something like that, or a Cockney accent. Like, or dialect maybe is a different way of putting it. For us amateur voice impressionists, I guess it takes a lot of evaluation having others see what they think. Yeah, pretty much. Because everyone legally can say, I could do an amazing Hugh Neutron impression, but that doesn't make it true. There are certain people who can do really good Hugh Neutron impressions. And then there are other people who, bless their hearts, don't, but think they do. So, that's the question. How can one truly know what impressions they would be best suited for? For example, someone may have the perfect Gollum impression. Good old Andy Serkis. They may have the perfect Gollum impression, but they wouldn't know because they wouldn't think to try. And then people who want to do a Gollum impression but don't have a very good one are then what we think of when we hear Gollum impressions, because the people who would be really good at it probably haven't tried it. Just statistically speaking. Guessing and checking? Yeah, I guess. But then again, that raises the question of, can you possibly guess and check with the myriad of options out there? Can you possibly guess and check thoroughly enough to find the ones that you're best at? Or is it simply like a limit function where you never truly reach what you're aiming for? I just went math nerd on you guys. I apologize. Well, I mean, no, actually, now that I think about it, I don't apologize. Deal with it. But, not the limit function. Oh, yeah, I broke out math. You gotta deal with it, man. I love math. You just have to suck it up. Pre-calc. Oh, boy. Calculus is so fun. And I'm not being ironic. I do really enjoy things like calculus and stuff like that. Oh my gosh, it's dark. Hopefully we'll have time to do a little bit in the day. I really wanted to try to get at least something started with a chicken coop, but I really have not had time to do that. But you know what? We've been having such great conversations. It's not, I'm not minding it too much. Pre-calc more than physics. Yeah, I didn't enjoy physics, which is really weird. I love math. I love chemistry. Because they always say, things like I think it's psychology is applied biology. Biology is applied chemistry. Chemistry is applied physics. Physics is applied mathematics. I really like chemistry. Chemistry and calculus, for example, were two of my favorite classes I ever took. But the one in the middle, physics, I was not as good at. For sense of scale, I had something like a 114 in my AP chemistry class. And I think something like an 810 in my AP calculus class. I'm not trying to brag, this all serves a purpose. And then for my physics class, I think I had something like an 85. Just to show the difference in 810%. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. 100. 810. 1. Sorry. Not 810%. That would inflate my GPA so much, it'd be hilarious. But no, my grade is not that high. That'd be funny, though. But that's to show a sense of scale. And then I took 2 semesters of physics in college for undergrad, because I had to take science classes. And I did about the same in those. So it wasn't the teacher necessarily. Because I had 2 different teachers for college physics than I did for high school physics. And still had about the same score. I don't know. But they function similarly, but they're applied differently. To really bring it back around to what you were talking about. But yeah, I like math, so I may occasionally say something math related, and like I said, you're just gonna have to deal with it. You don't have any choice about it. Ha 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 ha. I don't think it's worth making a shield with a limited iron. I have maybe. You know what? We're gonna make a shield. We're gonna make a chest plate. We're gonna make shears. We do actually have enough for a shield. We'll make a shield. I just do not want to die. It's very important to me that I do not die. Because this is hardcore, after all. We're gonna try to do a little bit of cave exploring and hope for the best. Why does this say chat paused due to scroll? There we go. I can't keep up with the chat at the moment because it says paused for some dumb reason, because it's not. You know, with that iron, I could have made an iron pickaxe, which actually would have been really useful, and I didn't. So that shows you my intellect. There we go. Let's just bring a stack of coal, a stack of wood. I don't know how long this trip is going to be. I don't need a seed underground. I have a stack of berries. That's probably enough. Let's do a little bit of cave, and we're going to bring Bartholomew, of course. He's going to protect us against the skeletons, who are by far the biggest threat to us, except for maybe creepers. And we'll see what we can do. Big brain play? I don't know what I did to deserve the big brain play moniker, but I'll take it. Where was I going with all this? I can't remember what conversation we were having before. It was going to be really fun. Oh! Hello. That was fast. He just happened to be there. I hear a skeleton. Sounds like Bartholomew was off doing... Sounds like he was off doing good work. Good job, buddy. We just have to light up as much as we quickly can, as quickly as possible. It's a safety precaution, of course. Lapis, that's cool. I think that was gold, but I can't take it yet. Because I don't have an iron pickaxe. I should have made one. But of course, this is me we're talking about, so I'm not going to do the smart thing. I'm going to do what I think is the smart thing until I realize 10 seconds later that it's not. If a creeper is up there and he drops down on me, this could very well be over. I'm just trying to light things up right now. That's all I'm trying to do. I'll go back and mine this stuff, but safety is the top priority. It's hardcore mode. We're not playing with daisies here. This is tough manly stuff, don't you know? All right. I'll check chat in a second. I can see you guys are talking about something. There we go. Oh, actually, I can do that. That's a big brain play. I don't have to carry gravel around. Ugh. Icky gravel. It only looks good for roads, and even at that, it doesn't look great. Oh! That is light shining through leaves. I honestly thought, with a straight face, that was that deep dark skulk stuff. And I was gonna start freaking out, because I have not done deep dark stuff yet. And I was gonna start panicking a little bit, because I'm clearly not prepared for that. But, no, I'm just an idiot. This is the surface, and it's light shining through a tree. Oh, you thought that was the warden, too? I thought so, too! Okay, I'm glad I'm not the only one. Yeah, I know I walked past iron. Like I said, I'm lighting it all up. There must be a skeleton up there. Never mind. That guy was going nuts. Is this coal worth getting when I have to have my back turned to where monsters could come from? That's the question. We'll try it. We'll try it and hope we do not die. But I'll have to gather the iron that's down here in order to make a make an iron pick. Oh, it's you. Don't scare me like that, Bartholomew. You know I don't like a good jump scare. Of course Bartholomew knows this. He's a very faithful dog. It does have a spawn sound though, and takes 4 Skulker sensor triggers. Okay. Well, considering it was at the time it was that high up. Here's the thing. It didn't process. I knew I was deep down, and that I was going pretty high up this little area we were at, but I didn't know how high we were. So right now we're at Y55, which is not high, which is not low, which is not deep at all. I think, isn't something like 61? Isn't that sea level in this game? 60 or 61? So we're almost at sea level. And I'm still sitting there thinking, oh my gosh, this could be the time I die. Because nothing says deep dark like 5 meters below sea level, am I right? Come on now. Alright, now I can go back and get all this juicy iron. I should have brought the golden Fortune 2 pickaxe with me, in case on the off chance I found diamonds. Because gold can mine at the same level as iron, right? Or am I being an idiot? I never mine with gold tools. This feels like basic Minecraft trivia knowledge that I do not know 100% for certain. Which is depressing, because I have played this game for so long. And gold has been in the game for so long. I don't know, we'll find out at some point. Ooh, copper. Here's the question, what am I going to do with all this copper? I may use it for building, but I don't particularly like the look of it. The thing I could most potentially see it being used for is kind of a light green, is it using it in its, because I don't really build steampunk, using it in its light green form, or its, you know, its rusted form, essentially, as kind of a, I think the buildings along the Danube River for Hungary have kind of a light green roof, don't they? Light green roofs, that's kind of what I'd be going for. There's iron. At least that's the thought process as I'm thinking through things. That's really, and a telescope. Or the spyglass, technically. Sorry. I know it's technically called something different. That would likely be what I'd use it for, and that's probably would be about it, actually. Because what other use would I have for it? Lightning rod for redstone stuff, maybe, I guess. The more I see you're talking, the more uses I'm finding for this without even trying. But at the same time, you know, it's not iron. It's not going to be as useful as iron. See, here's the problem now. Okay, well, I guess I can get this now, technically. I just have to, oh, Bartholomew, you scared oh my gosh, you scared the malarkey out of me, dude. Don't do that to me. Alright, let's sit here. You don't know anything about Hungary? Yeah, it's been a little bit since I've studied Hungary, so it's hard to say. The reason I'm thinking that is I think I remember, in Civ 6, Hungary's in the game, and I'm pretty sure, if I recall correctly, that some of their special buildings they can build have light green roofs. I'm not saying, yeah, and obviously that doesn't necessarily mean all of Hungary kind of has those light green style roofs, but maybe? I don't know. You don't know. I can pretend I know what I'm talking about, and that's an option. Oh my goodness. Alright, iron pickaxe. I don't know why I still have an axe in my inventory. I did not need to bring that. Alright, but yeah, we'll keep going for a little while longer. We'll be calling it somewhat soon. Like I said, I'm going to have to go to bed, but now that we're down in the mines a little bit, I would like to see what I can find. There could be some goodies down here. I don't think we're going to be deep enough for diamonds, necessarily. But, you know, like some gold, some iron. I can actually start making some serious armor. Like, see, now I can make boots. I could save up for pants, though. As you can see, I'm not wearing iron pants. I'm wearing these khaki things, which are not going to protect me from a creeper explosion, it turns out. Who would have thought, right? Who would have thought that they would not protect me from a creeper explosion? Oh, hang on a second. I can make pants. I have one more iron in there. See, for how much I play Minecraft, you would think I would realize stuff like this. I have another iron ore in my inventory. Or raw iron, I guess, now, technically. I'm still an old schooler. And thinking, oh, I don't have enough iron to make iron leggings. I'm one short. My gosh, I just need to... Anyone home? I feel like I need to do that sometimes. Actually use this brain that I have for something other than memes. Other than making memes, there has to be some other good use for this brain somehow. At least if you die, your fit goes hard. What? I'm very confused. What does that even mean? Sorry, I don't speak fashion sense. I'm assuming you're talking about the khakis somehow. But I don't really speak fashion sense or anything like that, so I'm gonna need some clarification. I'm gonna have to come back for this stuff. I like building with Tough. My favorite house design right now that I utilize, kind of a medieval hovel style, utilizes Tough. So we'll definitely want to come back for some of this. Here we go. Now we're going deeper again. I am just terrified, constantly looking out for the deep dark, because I have no clue where it would be. If someone says your fit goes hard, it's a good thing. Okay. I don't know what you youngins are talking about, but I'll take your word for it. Oh! Hello. Oh! Hi! Moss. Well, that's fun. We'll take a closer look at this in a second. That looks like lava, yep. Let's investigate this a little bit. This is cool looking. Oh, no, stay away from me, I don't like you! Okay, there we go. That's fine. That is bearable. Wow, okay. This is a nice looking little cavern. This may be a bit of a controversial take, but I'm not a fan of the Caves and Cliffs update. Well, partially. I'll tell you what I do like. I like the mountains. The mountains are amazing. The cliffs part of the Caves and Cliffs is awesome. What I don't like about the Caves and Cliffs are the caves. These messes, oh, that would have been bad, that you now are much more complex and hard to navigate through. And there could be things on the very high up ceilings that you can't really get to. And you have to go out of your way to get them. I may go back that way. Let's, yeah, could have gone way worse? Absolutely. That's why I am now turning around and running the opposite direction. I'm gonna mark that and say go back there later. Okay, well that's a dead end there. Am I gonna get lost? Probably, but you know what? We'll see how it goes. There we go. We'll do that to say go back in that direction. This is the entrance here. I'll definitely be able to tell all this apart later. And definitely know what it all means. Sometimes someone's goldfish just died. Yeah, man, you know, it happens. Oh, baby. I have all the stuff I need. Now that I have moss, moss is just a really useful block. I've used moss to carve out the insides of mountains before. Because when you don't have when you don't have a really fast pickaxe, and you don't have, you know, an efficiency 5 diamond pickaxe with the haste 2 beacon, mining out the inside of a cave is really hard. But what you can do is you can bone meal moss all over the stone. Just use a hoe, go through it really quick. But before it all goes away, you then bone meal more moss to the next layer. And then you can use that moss in a composter to make more bone meal than you started with, and keep the cycle going. Oh, this is actually the end of this cavern, so that way I kind of said, hey, don't go back to this way later. Bone meal stone, yeah, no, you bone meal the moss by the stone, and it will turn the stone into moss. Which then means that you can break it with a hoe or your hand instead of, you know, a pickaxe. It definitely takes longer. It definitely takes some time to turn things to moss. But then if you just have stone hoes, you can then breeze through that stuff like butter. So it's really a trade-off. Do you think it's actually going to save you any time? Hard to say, honestly. But at the very least, there is an argument. All right. We're gonna tiptoe back in here. This is very dangerous, I'd like to point out. So, I'm very much not looking forward to it. You know, danger and all that. But, is this all clay? Why is there so much clay here? Oh, hello! I don't have any of you yet. Alright. We're gonna take things slowly. I do not want to die. There's a creeper down there. Get far away from that thing. Oh, I have one bone meal from somewhere. Oh, it's from the fish. And I could do that. And I have glowberries. Ba-bam, son! Okay, we're gonna try not to die. Please, 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 please. I have a shield. I have 2 pieces of iron armor. I feel decently protected here. But, and I have Bartholomew, who will alert me to everyone but creepers, I think. Or something like that. I don't know. Minecraft stuff. Jibber jabber. Somewhere in there. Words. Is this a dead end? Please be a dead end. Yes! Now that means this place is completely safe. I can mine this stuff out. This is how, this is the thing. To explain why I don't like the caves and cliffs, this is how I mine. I go into a cave, I pick one tunnel, I go through, light it up, as far as I can, until I get to a break. I then pick one tunnel from that break and keep going until I get a dead end. Now that I know that everything's lit up and that tunnel is safe, that all those branches have gone down, that one particular, it's like the tree thing we were talking about earlier, the tree branch for the parallel worlds. Now that I've gone down that one particular one, I know it's all lit up. I will go back out and mine as I go till I get back to that branch, that most recent branch, and then I will go down the next branch and kind of keep that cycle going, and so on and so forth. With these giant open caves now, with stuff on the ceiling and stuff like that, that style of mining just does not make any sense. For these tunnel caves, it still does. Don't get me wrong. But that is a limited aspect of the caves now. That's not all the cave tunnels anymore. Here's the question. What good things can you do with clay? You can make terracotta, you can make bricks, which almost no one uses, unfortunately, because for a long time the bricks, okay. Nice! Oh. Zoom broke it. Okay, well, that was kind of cool, actually. That could have been useful. Although I didn't see any tunnels there. Hey, we'll abuse that. Yeah, I did for a little bit. The problem was I could only turn so far with it. Oh, I forgot that to happen. There we go. Alright, but I can always use this stuff for terracotta, so it's not terrible. I did not think there would be clay down here. This surprises me. And it's also going to take up a huge amount of inventory space because it stinks. There we go. Oh gosh. Come on now. Let's just throw that there. There we go. Get it out of my inventory. I need space. I need space for all this clay that I'll definitely use and not just throw aside somewhere. Alright, there we go. So here's a question for you guys. Let's say you have the time to just sit down, and this wouldn't be an all-in-one stint thing, but you are gonna make a Minecraft world. What are you going to do in it? If you had to pick one goal or one thing to do in that Minecraft world, what would you make it? What would you set that goal to be? For me, because I'm so much into Minecraft storytelling nowadays, I would probably make it. Creative would be easier, but I could do survival. This is kind of what I was trying to do with Bluebeard, Chronicles of Bluebeard the Dwarf originally. What was kind of have kind of a story-esque world building where you kind of build a lot of stuff, build a city or build a kingdom or something like that. That's probably what I would do. Don't get me wrong, this is fun, but what am I doing right now? I'm basically gathering resources for what purpose? Am I gonna ever use them? I don't know. I'm a hoarder, so maybe not. Oh my gosh, I keep doing that. I have to get these tropical fish out of my inventory. This is nuts. Nom nom nom. Sorry, Nemo. You're done. That's always been my big problem with Solo Survivor Worlds. I never know what to do with myself and the time I have. Maybe beat Vanilla MC since I've never done that before. It does feel pretty good to do it. I've done it a handful of times. I was actually the one, I teamed up with someone when I was on the Quarantine SMP. Whenever I beat the Ender Dragon on that server, I teamed up with someone. And it is easier with people around. Because, there's more people to distract the Ender Dragon. That's one way of looking at it. Gotta get rid of this granite. Get out of my sight, you ugly block. There we go. But, where was I even going with that? That's the real question. But yeah, beating the Ender Dragon is pretty cool, because then you can get Elytra. And then, at that point, you basically shift into, this is endgame. There's no real mission left. Bartholomew, what are you doing, buddy? I almost hit you. At that point, you have to make missions for yourself, such as, well, if I want to use this Elytra, I have to make fireworks. So I now need a paper farm, I need a creeper farm. At that point, you think, okay, well, I need resources to make these farms. I now need to make these farms to get these resources. And it's just, it just keeps going at that point. This is a lot of clay. I may have to turn around just because my inventory fills up with clay. I'm not getting rid of the glow ink sacks. Those things are awesome. But something that would be really fun is, I've applied a few times to join the Kabuto SMP server, which, for those of you who don't actually watch it, because, you know, not everyone does, that makes sense. It's a, it's a lot of, it's some stuff some Twitch streamers have gotten together and they're doing it. It's basically, it's a lore server with people playing specific characters, and, you know, it's basically telling a story of people meeting from different dimensions. Basically, each dimension, kind of the players in that dimension are kind of like a new race, essentially, or a different, I don't know if species is the right word, but they're kind of different people. And it's kind of just a kind of an analysis of that, kind of seeing how society develops, how people interact with each other. And it's a very interesting story so far, and it's exactly the kind of Minecraft storytelling I would want to do. The problem is, they have not accepted my applications. I have to think part of the reason, I'm not going to assume malicious intent, obviously, or I'm not going to assume the reason why. I have to think, though, that me being a small creator is probably part of it. Which, you know what? If that's the case, so be it. I'd love to participate, but if I don't get on, then that's fine. I'll work on something else. Obviously, it doesn't stop the creative flow just because one place you could be creative is now not an option. You just go somewhere else and do something else. How much clay is there down here? This is nuts. I was genuinely just mining this because I thought, oh, you know what? There won't be much here. But what the heck? I have 4 stacks of clay in my inventory. Not even the blobs, the blocks. What the heck is going on? Yeah, the lack of viewership. Yeah, I mean, I just don't have a large base. The people, these people who do these streams, you know, they have, you know, they'll have people anywhere between 30 and 300 viewers. So I'm not upset if that's the reason why I'm not accepted, because I fully understand that could be a reason. And and I wouldn't be doing it to build viewer base or anything. It would be, is this somewhere I've been? Yes. So oh my gosh, this is all just been one giant loop. So yeah, I fully expect that's part of the reason, and I'm not upset at all about that. Or I wouldn't be upset. I don't know if it's the reason, technically. Okay, I need to get rid of those. Sorry, bye-bye Deep Slate. No more use for you. I need inventory space for the precious clay. Look at how much of this stuff there is. This is ridiculous. They should make double compressed clay. You could basically take 4 clay blocks and smush them into an even tighter clay block. There's a theory there. Mojang, get on it. You're adding chest boats? We don't want that. We want double compressed clay, man. That's what the people really want. Oh my gosh, there is so much of this stuff. I genuinely thought I'd be through this relatively quickly. But I was thinking, yeah, you know what, I'll just mine this clay vein, then I'll call it a night. That's not the way this is breaking down, is it? Or at least not so far. If I just leave a chest down here full of this clay, I can always come back for it. That much is true, at least. I don't know, we'll see. I think I have enough clay. I mean, do I, though? Because here's the thing. You can use it to make bricks, brick blocks, or clay pots, things like that. You can use it for terracotta. That's probably one of its better uses. Glazed terracotta would be good for redstone purposes. Do I really have enough clay? Who knows, right? How do I know if I have enough clay? You think it's something that simple to say, oh yeah, I have enough clay? How do you know? It's not that simple, you know. If I need to turn this all into terracotta for a giant building project, this is gonna go almost nowhere. I'm really curious to see how far this goes. This is insane. The fact that it's looped around like this. I started over here. I started here, and I have made the full loop, so all of this is also probably clay, which is crazy. But I'll take it, man. It's clay. I say that, but I'm the guy who always stuffs my inventory with tools. Yeah, I normally carry around a couple stone pickaxes on me. Well, actually, I was gonna say that was a bad example, but I do have 2 in my inventory right now, so that's just the way I walk around in this game. Don't really know what to tell you. Oh my gosh. And my inventory's filled up again. This does not last long. There we go. How much of this is there going to be? Seriously, dude. Like I said, I was planning on mining this out and then stopping, but it just keeps going. I didn't think clay would be in a biome, in a cave biome like this, but this is a lot easier than trying to find it in rivers, I'll say that much. This is great. I carry 2 to 3 of each tool, excluding shovels and hoes. Yeah, I don't do that, per se. I'll usually carry 1 of each. If it's low on durability, like my pickaxe, for example, I'll have a second to easily switch over to it until I can make another. This is insane. This is absolutely insane. It's still going. This is really interesting, I'm sure. Me just mining clay seemingly till the end of time. I'm sure you guys are really loving this. What can I say? I'm just a fun streamer, guys. I mean, come on, right? And that includes swords. I usually carry 1 of each. And like I said, when it gets close to breaking, I'll make a spare. And once I get the diamond stuff, I'll try to get it to, you know, where it's the whole efficiency 5 on breaking 3, mending, and all that. And then the only time I'll have more than 1 is if I specifically need 1 for Silk Touch and 1 for Fortune, like pickaxes. At that point, I'll change it up. But until then, I don't really have to, because at that point, those tools are serving a very specific purpose. And right now, a stone pickaxe is just a stone pickaxe. It is to mine anything that can be mined with the pickaxe. And that is it. I'm just sitting at 7 hearts. This is not smart. I should, you know, eat some food. Not die. Yeah, that's ideal, right? How much of this do we think there's left? Because I don't want to be up too late. This is... you know what? I know there's still some left, but I'm just going to have to call it here. Because, see, there's still even more over there. There's just more of this stuff. It just keeps going and going. And then there's more there. And there's going to be all that. And frankly, I just do not want to deal with this right now. So, yeah. We will pick this up at a future point. Maybe not specifically clay mining the whole time, obviously. But we'll come back to this. We'll come back to this world at some point in the future. I just need to start getting ready for bed, because again, I have work and all that stuff. But, the correct answer is a lot. Absolutely. But, thanks for hanging out, guys. Funky, it was great seeing you, talking to you. Same thing with you, Mary. I appreciate the follow. Hopefully I'll get to see more of you in the future, because it was great having you around. And Magikarp, who was here for 1 comment. It was great seeing him. I appreciate him stopping by. So, and everyone else who was here didn't say anything. I still appreciate you, even if you didn't say anything. Don't you worry about a thing. So, I will see you guys. I probably will be able to stream tomorrow. I don't know when. Probably the evening, if I had to guess. But I should be able to stream tomorrow. So, I don't know what I'll stream. Maybe I'll stream more of this, because I enjoyed this. We'll see. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Until next time, this is Bloober Gamer signing off. God bless America.